Hey, this is Hidokari Kurta, and welcome to Fate Extra. Okay, I have never played this game before, so no, normal is fine. There's a number of dead ends and potentially fatal choices in the game. It's recommended you create multiple saves. Okay. It's a bright sunny morning. The air is filled with the joyful laughter of students. There's more activity than normal in front of the school gate. A crowd is forming as students are being called over. I wonder what's going on. When I peer into the center of the hubbub, I see my friend and student council president, Issei Ryudo. What's up, Issei? Good morning. Lovely weather we're having, don't you think? Why do you look so surprised? We announced at last week's assembly that this month is the student council would strictly enforce school rules. I have been tasked with performing inspections to ensure students are in compliance with school rules. Now it goes without saying that everyone is subject to inspections, even old friends. Now then, uniform inspection time. Collar? Check. Pants hems? Check. And your socks? Check. Really, Issei? Next is contents of your bag. Notebooks, textbooks, pencil box, not even a whiff of contraband. Your nails are evenly cut and your haircut is sensible. Indeed, quite remarkable. You're a model's Tsukumihara Academy student. Someone like you ought to consider a future in student government. You'd be perfect for it. Oh, but I'd never try to coerce you into joining the student council. We aren't like that. Now then, off to your classroom. Enjoy your day. Before I can reply, Mr. Diligent, student council president, is on the next student's inspection. Hungry for gossip on their way into the classrooms, the students jabber about the inspections. Things are always so gently bustling in the morning. Another peaceful beginning to another peaceful day. Okay, okay. Press triangle on campus and you can save your game, adjust settings, and all that jazz. I'll go save right now. I only know small things about Fate Extra for the most part. Yeah, let's go fast. Yeah, of course. Since Excel is the only game in this series that I've actually played. Alright, welcome and enjoy your stay at Tsukumi-hara Academy. I gotta get used to saying that. Just want to try saying that once, see how corny it would sound. If you continue right, you'll find the archery range, but you should be heading to the school building now. The classroom's on the second floor, right? If you don't get to your classroom soon, you'll incite Tiger's wrath. Also watching the anime for Fate Extra, which is really terrible, honestly. But, I know that is a completely different thing from what this game is. Oh, isn't the archery range open? What is the archery range you speak of? Oh, that building over there on the right. What about it? Someone left their stuff there, but whatever. Okay, I guess I can't go over there. Search. There are trash cans for plastic bottles and aluminum cans. The trash bin being full isn't any excuse for stacking your empty on top of the bin itself. Ah, okay. I have this weird feeling that I'm forgetting something. I just can't think of what it might be. Man, I must have a hole in my head. Maybe if I head back to my classroom. Ooh, thingy. And I can't examine it, okay. Oh man, I gotta go to the bathroom before homework starts. My eyes are starting to float. Okay. 4 days until the next exam. Be sure to study your hardest. Sincerely, Miss Fujimura. Ah. The door to the supply room is locked tight. Students aren't allowed to enter. Okay. Just gonna explore around. This is room 1A. Even though no one is around, the silence is so absolute that it's somewhat unnerving. Yeah, same thing. This would be 1B, right? 1B feels totally lifeless. The lack of students just makes that feeling worse. 1C. All the first year classrooms seem totally devoid of life. I wonder what's going on. It's like a fire alarm. Just the sight of it makes me want to set it off. So I notice I'm not... I'm just noticing my main character doesn't look like the main character from Extra at all. The boys' bathroom. I don't really need to go now. This is the faculty office. I don't really have any need or desire to talk to any of the teachers, so I shouldn't go in. I woke up this morning with a splitting headache, and I've been really forgetful as of late. Oh, yeah, faculty. From the nurse's office. It seems that many students are falling ill due to the stress of exams. Please come to the nurse's office if you're feeling ill or injured. Academy's garden's up ahead. It looks like it's under renovation, so only those involved in the process are allowed to go in. Nurse's office. I can feel people inside, but I'm not quite sure how. Anyway, the door won't budge. Go down. Oh, cafeteria's just up ahead. It looks like they're still getting ready. We better head to the classroom. Our classroom's 2A. 2A. Okay. Tsukumi Times Preview Edition 1. Special feature will begin the day after tomorrow. Cracking the unsolved mysteries of Tsukumi Academy. Don't miss it. Okay. It's the library. There are weird mechanical noises coming from inside. I better check it out, but the door's locked. I check it out, but the door's locked. It's the library. Okay. From the librarian about exams. The library will be closed for the duration of exams. During the closure, the shelves will be reorganized and the much requested PCs added. Stop by after exams. Okay, I can't examine what that is. Okay, so I'm 2A, meaning I should go to every classroom except that one. 2B. There's a lot of athletes here, so it's a little overwhelming. It's noisy as usual. I'd rather not be noticed, so I'd better hightail it out of here. Class 2C. Student Council President Issei is in Class C, but he's not here right now. He must be busy. I don't know anyone else here, so I should probably leave. There's the shared locker for the classroom's use. It has stationery and supplies, buried under a treasure trove of Miss Fujimura's junk. Alright, let's go. Oh, okay. My class is 2A. I don't have any business on the 3rd floor. I ought to get to class before the bell rings. Okay. As I enter class, I see Mato with a bunch of girls. Why he's so popular is a mystery. Yeah, Shinji's a jerk. Shut up, Shinji. It's a little early for so much abuse, but it's Shinji Mato's. It can't be helped, I guess. His arrogance is almost palpable. I don't know what he's saying, but it makes all the girls squeal with joy. Actually, let me rephrase. His popularity isn't so much mysterious as it is unnatural. Oh. I was just doing a little math tutoring. This stuff is beyond easy. For me, anyway. Wait a sec. Hey, Mato, isn't the answer to this question totally wrong in every way? What the... I'm the one who solved that. There's no way it could be wrong. But look at this. Since when did 2 plus 2 equal 5? Wow, Shinji, wow. I'd never make such a stupid mistake. It's all your fault. You're the idiots here, not me. As Shinji raises his voice, the girls all panic and run back to their desks. I hate dealing with... I don't even know what that word is. Especially when they think that are my equal. It's really pathetic that these worms don't know their place. That's why I like you so much. Even though you're boring, you know not to steal my thunder. You're the ultimate sidekick. Shinji flashes me a smile. It's weird how I never get offense at the way he talks to me. By some strange twist of fate, Shinji, Mato, and Ari are friends. How they became friends was... I can't quite remember how it happened. I want to say we met in spring sometime. The bell for class rings as I try to recollect. And who should fly through the door but our homeroom teacher, Miss Fujimura. I made it. Good morning, Of course. And Miss Fujimura trips, falling painfully onto the floor. As she lands, her head strikes the corner of the platform in front of the classroom. The classroom goes dead silent. Every student's attention is focused on the same thing. Again, how does she manage to trip in the same place every time? Is she knocked out cold and we're gonna have to call her Tiger? Listen, you, this isn't time to be making stupid jokes. You're right, she isn't moving. Did she get knocked out or something? A few bright students get out of their seats and crowd around the still comatose Fujimura. Hey, Miss Fujimura. Miss Fujimura, are you okay? Oh, okay. What's wrong, everyone? Hey, class is about to start, so get back to your seats pronto. Miss Fujimura jumps to her feet as if nothing had happened. It's almost as if the memory of her sudden and violent trip to the floor was totally erased. I was honestly expecting it to be a repeat of what happens at the beginning of Fate, but whatever. As this happens all the time, no one seems to notice or care enough to say anything. No one gives a thought to how odd it is for this to happen every single day. The scene playing out before me seems to never change from day to day. The exact same lessons, the exact same subject, the exact same content. Today we're going to study the biography of Dr. Peaceman, a talented physician who... Miss Fujimura is conducting class today the same way she does every day. You may not know, but when I was young, an unknown pathogen was the cause of a serious epidemic. In fact, outbreaks were common, but now most illnesses are cured using nano thingy-majigs. And FYI, I'm still young. This will be on the test, so be sure not to forget about it. I mean it. Her ensuing laughter stopped short at her eyes, which seems deadly serious. Just as everyone is about to call Fujimura out, the bell signaling the end of class rings. Alright, that's it for today. Be sure to study hard tonight, and don't forget those important points I told you about. While today's class wasn't all that boring, it is a relief when the bell rings. As the bell signaling the end of the day sounds, students begin to break off into small groups. Thank God that's over. I was getting sick of all the busy work. Being a student sucks. The worst part of the whole deal is having to attend these stupid classes. You're still here? That's unusual. You don't have any plans like a date or something? I'm just messing with you. I know you're too big of a nerd to ever get a date. Fuck you, Shinji. I mean, you're going to your dork club, the journalism club, right? Fuck you, Shinji. Well, seeing as you're boring as stale as white bread, your life should be exactly as it should be. I'm gonna be so happy when I kill you. You know exactly what your role in life is, and you stay there. I'll catch you later. See you in class tomorrow. I guess the journalism's club's been busy. I mean, with all the weird stuff happening. Recently, a lot of students have been getting hurt. Rumors that there's a slasher on campus. I'm in the journalism club? You're not a member? I'm always talking in the hallway with the editor-in-chief. Seems kind of pathetic to just head straight home after school. I should join a club. Hate wearing uniforms. I should have gone somewhere that lets you wear regular clothes. What? I'd kill to be able to wear the black uniform of the student council like you. Oh, okay, so it was that guy talking, okay. One of my desk legs is shorter than the other, and it keeps shifting around. It's driving me insane. Guys always bolt when it's time to clean. The lies they tell to get out of helping is pathetic. Alright. Back to this dude. Hey, the editor-in-chief of the Journalism Club was calling a general meeting. You better go. Okay, the editor-in-chief of the school newspaper is calling for you. You better go talk to her. Wherever that is. 2B, there's a lot of athletes. Okay, so the same shit. Okay. I really wish I was dating Shinji's sister. That cute girl in the nurse's office. Yeah, Sakura. And we'd get married, she'd feed me, and I'd wake up to her every day. The thought of Shinji being my brother-in-law is... if only they weren't related. Technically they aren't, but then again, this is a different universe, so... Hey, what's going on? More drama? The school newspaper has been so busy these days, there's a lot of weird rumors to check out. Oh, so that's the editor. Okay. Oh, ha! Those three. Hello, fellow journalist. First, go off and listen to what the editor-in-chief has to say. Take care of whatever it is. She's so hyperactive, you're the only one who can stand to be around her. I honestly wish I could remember their names. Anyway, listen to what the editor-in-chief has to say. Look who's here, it's the newspaper's Club Ace. Got any leads? What, did you forget? You have to write an Unsolved Mysteries of Tsukumi Hara article. Come on, I told you yesterday, there isn't much time left before the deadline. Well, whatever, your work is always good, so I'll leave this in your capable hands. Jeez, my benevolence is like a Black Panther running around. Yes, that doesn't make sense. So that's that. I've done some of the investigating. It's your job to do the rest. Don't look so surprised. There's a method to my madness. Okay, so about the first preview edition, the one called Gateway to the Paranormal. So listen, there's supposedly an entrance to the spirit world at the rear of the archery range. One time a male student who got bullied a lot was told to pick up trash there and vanished. Everyone's totally convinced that there's paranormal activity going on back there. Isn't that scary? I mean, ridiculous? Anyway, go sniff out the truth. Leave no stone unturned. Your nose and eyes are tools of the trade for the journalist. Yeah, got it? Yeah, sure. Your reply should be, yes, ma'am. Alright, hop to it. Anything else you have to say? The archery range. Alright, the archery range. Some students know things, so investigate. It's so weird. I tried going to the library before exams, but you can't get in. Okay, so I can go to the 3rd floor now. Interested Spirit World? Maybe Mr. Fujimura and the archery advisor knows. If you ask me, Tiger's probably at the archery range right now. I mean, she's the advisor. Makes sense. There are campus beautification, community supplies. They really keep the school spick and span. Classroom 3A. I don't know much about the upperclassmen. Thanks for that. B. Another upper class. Really? That's what you're worried about? Do you need Shield Senpai? Have you noticed that girl in the nurse's office wears long sleeves even during the summer? Yeah, she's always wearing that long jacket. Could it be because her older brother bullies her? Talking about Sakura. 3C. They gave it me like underclassmen or like some sort of exotic creatures. Four days till next exam. Can't examine that. Can't examine that. Rain or shine, the student council president is at the main gate. Gotta tip your hat to that. Yeah, or pull the stick out of his butt so he can walk away. He's not a bad guy overall, though. Multimedia room. That's all we're getting on that. Okay. Alright. We go to the roof. Rooftop is locked. There's a do not enter sign hung on the doorknob. Makes sense. downstairs. Okay, so I guess not right. It's right here. If you're talking to these people. Oh, I heard we got a new teacher. Hopefully they're nice and not a total control freak. Another Sakura and Shinji. Hey, Sakura. Oh, it's you, brother. I heard that you've been skipping out on archery club's morning practices lately. Why haven't you been showing up? Where do you get off taking a break without my say-so? I get it now. You've been going to their house again, haven't you? Yes, I've been going there, but I just wanted to help and... Let me guess, you fellas you're obligated to, right? Jeez, why don't you just be... Why must you be so damn naive? Wait a sec. What was that just now? Anyway, if someone gets hurt, just leave them to suffer. Just do what I tell you and things will be a-okay. I mean, it seems like people get some kind of perverse thrill from getting in my way. To force one of my dear little sister miss valuable practice time. It's not how it is at all. I wasn't forced to do anything. I wanted to help. Why is it so wrong to help those who need it? Isn't it only fools and the weak who manage to get themselves hurt somehow? Why help anybody out? Will that person ever pay you back or help in return? Of course they won't. And if you think otherwise, you're an idiot. I won't be used by anyone. It's better to treat others as cattle, and there isn't a time for you to admit to feeling the same way. But for me, that option... Stop right there. I don't care what you have to say. Stop going to that house, Sakura. Got it? Douche. Seems many students are fun. Oh, right, yeah, that. Hey, Sakura. Oh, I mean, hi. Can I help you with anything? If you ever start feeling unwell, please come by the nurse's office. Faculty. Oh, right, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, she's outside. Out of the blue, a feeling that something was moving behind the door overcame me. As a rule, students aren't allowed inside the supply room. It might just be a rat or something. For some unknown reason, I found my eyes drawn to the door of the supply room when the door suddenly and violently thrown open. Without warning, a man appears out of the shadows. Dressed in black with a dour expression, the person in question is very intimidating. But that sense of intimidation is immediately replaced with extreme discomfort and unease. A sudden, overwhelming sense of danger gives me goosebumps all over my body. His cold, blank stare sends chills down my spine, as though he's marking me for death. For some reason, it feels as if he's deciding whether to break my neck or skin me alive. He begins to mutter under his breath while at the same time he reaches out with his right hand. The chills running down my spine gain intensity as waves of nausea and vertigo wash over me. I feel like a rabbit watching the wolf draw near. Maybe this isn't just raw terror. I think he's holding something that's making me feel this way. A note of disgust in his voice is obvious as he slowly lowers his hand. The paralysis that seems to take hold of me suddenly fades away. The man continues to look down on me with those dead eyes of his. The campus is about to close. If you have nothing else to do, I advise you to go home now. The man who introduces himself as Mr. Kuzuki turns and heads back into the supply room. With that, the final bell rings the chime, signaling the end of the school day. Everything begins to progress as normal, as if nothing out of the ordinary had happened. But I'm still sore and slicked with sweat, an all too real reminder of what happened. Wonderful. We now have a teacher with an obvious murderous intent teaching at our school. Wasn't his name Kuzuki? He seems not dangerous. but definitely merciless. Door supply room. Students aren't allowed to enter. Yeah. Just save real quick. Interested in Spirit World? No clue. Maybe we should ask the archery club advisor Fujimura. You know where Tiger is. Won't you be at the archery range or something? Yeah. I know. Just double checking. The priest from the neighborhood chapel has been coming to school a lot lately. He's tall, dark, and handsome. Mostly dark. So it's either over here. Okay, there's the archery club. Nobody else is here. You caught me in the middle of cleaning. Those archery club kids don't even unstring their bows. The worst is when they leave their arrows stuck in the target mound. I usually make the kids do it, but there's no club activities leading up to exams, so I'm doing it. An entrance to the spirit world? That's just a rumor, it's not real. Exams are right around the corner. Don't waste your time on stuff like that. Go home. Shoot. What appears in the archery range isn't the entrance to the spirit world, but Miss Fujimura. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. She's the one behind Sukumi Hara's mysteries. It's fitting. I'll report this tomorrow so I can go home if I want. Day will pass if you go home. Oh, we have now reason to stay at school, to my knowledge. This is my first playthrough, so I don't know if that's actually the case. I do plan to go through all the characters. We'll save best girl for last. As I walk into class, the girls that normally flock around Shinji Mato aren't there. Shinji seems to be in a bad mood today. His usual posse of girls is keeping their distance. I'll ask him if something happened. What? Like I tell you anything happened to me. Which it didn't. Nothing happened at all. Hey, you know that Ice Queen Rin Tosaka? She thinks she's so much better than everyone else. At first I thought she would be the only one who understood how lonely it is at the top. I tried talking to her yesterday, but I got nowhere. Maybe I just intimidated her or something. Might have lost a few points for getting violent, but girls who talk back to me just get slapped. I'd never hook up with such a violent, stuck-up bitch like that, no matter how hot she is. What a way, she'd be perfect if she just kept her mouth shut. You agree with me, right? Right? Looks like there's some tension between Shinji and Rin Tosaka. Knowing Shinji, he probably hit on her and got shot down. Why'd you take a shot at me? I thought she was going to spinning star kick me next. He continues to whine under his breath. I can only imagine how sleazy Shinji was being with her. Normally super aggressiveness approach works, but obviously it didn't work with Rin Tosaka. Life's more interesting when it's gotten a little shakeups like this. As if right on cue, Miss Fujimura barges into the classroom as the bell sounds. Whew, I made it. Good morning, everyone. Alright, no one's absent, and since there's no announcements, let's just start homeroom. As soon as she turns to reach for the chalk, she trips and falls like she always does. As she falls, her fingernails drag across the chalkboard with a horrifying sound. And thus another typically mundane day begins anew. That's Kuzuki-sensei. And through the Great War had finally come to an end, regional conflicts still persist. Despite the suffering of the previous generation, battles are still waged 30 years on. Standing behind the lectern today is the school's newest teacher, Kuzuki. Although he's supposed to be teaching math, his lesson seems to have gone off on a tangent. Now, instead of armies, attacks in ever greater numbers are being carried out by terrorists. And in an attempt to suppress those terrorist groups, with that, the bell signaling the end of classes sounds. And with the end of the day here, the tension of the classroom drops immediately. Alright, let us end here today. Oh yes, before I forget, there's an announcement from the student counselor. Recently, a rising number of slashing incidents have made surrounding areas dangerous. With that in mind, keep any detours to a minimum and head home as quickly as possible. Get home quickly? Good advice, but I still have to finish a few assignments for the journalism club. Why I'm so gung-ho about investigating this school's 7 wonders is a mystery even to me, but it seems important for some reason. I had to turn in yesterday's report. I better go see the editor-in-chief this evening. Definitely read that wrong. Alright, you're investigating a story right now. Maybe I should join the journalism club too. The editor-in-chief was looking for you. She was going on about being late with an article. Strange happenings on campus. I wonder who comes up with all those rumors. Did you see that punk around? I mean Shinji, of course. Don't say that to his face, though. Hey, guess what? I just passed this gorgeous girl on the stairs. Could she be a new student? What? I'm sure you're just talking about Rin Tosaka from Class B. Rin Tosaka? Never heard of her. You really never heard of her? Pretty, athletic, smart, classy. Or stuck-up Miss Perfect who all the guys adore and all the girls despise. It wouldn't be unrealistic to call Rin Tosaka the most popular girl in the whole school. Are you pulling my leg? Girl, you're so dense. You probably wouldn't feel it if I pulled your leg anyway. But I'm not dense much. But she wasn't wearing her school uniform. She was wearing red. How do you explain that? I don't know. I hadn't noticed. Huh, maybe I'm remembering wrong. You would. Come on, let's hurry to our club. Yeah. Also, is that Ayako? Or am I looking? Or does she just... whatever. Miss Kuzuki? Everyone says he's scary, but he's actually a good teacher. Hey, guess what? I heard this from a friend of a friend, but... what is it? Miss Fujimura's living with one of her students here. Ew, you mean like romantically? But that's taboo. Okay, I guess Shiro's somewhere in this universe, too. Finally, hello fellow journalists, how did the case of the archery range go? I see, it was Miss Fujimura. The editor-in-chief will want to hear about that. I'll work on investigation and report to the editor-in-chief. Oh, our club's ace. Did you find out anything yesterday? Interesting, so it was Tiger. Of course there's no entrance to the spirit world. Thanks to you, the article will be great. Are you ready for the next article assignment? The next unsolved mystery is, yesterday there was a girl dressed in red on the rooftop. Rumors about Little Red Rooftop are spreading. Go find out what this is about. Journalists let the news guide their feet. To the rooftop! Okay, cool. Isn't our school weird? I can't put my finger on it, but maybe it's the teachers or the classes. Like, everything feels artificial somehow. No, wait, that would mean that... That's it. Oops, don't mind me. The crazy sometimes comes out. Oh, Ise. Girl on the rooftop? Ah, her. She just happens to be up there right now. I saw her holding a key to the rooftop a moment ago. Okay. Did you hear there was a murder near the school yesterday? A high school kid was killed. Happened on their way home. I live near there and now I'm scared to go home. Oh yeah, there's someone over there. Might as well chat with people while I'm at it. I see, it's going to be so easy now. The exam, I'm talking about the exam. Turn the doorknob and the middle door opens silently on its hinges. As a rule, no one's allowed up on the roof, but somehow I can see someone's elongated shadow. The vibrant color set off by the setting of the sun is enough to take one's breath away. Under the now blood-red sky, a single girl looks out onto the town that spreads out below. Like a figure out of a painting, the girl seems to shine with the same red glow as the setting sun. Not quite sure if the last statement was supposed to express disgust or disappointment. As she finishes speaking, a faint smile forms on the girl's lips as she slowly turns in my direction. Her unwavering gaze makes it seem like she can see things hidden to others. Her eyes seem to shine in an intensity that rivals that of a fiery red of the evening sky. Continuing to mumble quietly to herself, the girl quickly walks my way. Unexpectedly, her finger reaches out and touches my cheek. Mulling to herself, the girl disappears without a trace. It's like no one was ever there at all. She vanished? There or not, her form had been indelibly burned into my mind. Oh, you're still here. It's almost time to leave school, so you should prepare to go home. What's wrong? You look a little pale. The sound of Issei's voice pulls me back to reality. I must look completely dazed and confused. Maybe I'm tired, or... I'll talk with the editor-in-chief again tomorrow. In any case, I think the course of wisdom for now would be to go home like Issei says. I entered the classroom. Once again, Shinji Mato in the seat next to me has a full house. I'm telling you, you don't have any talent. Give up before you look like a retard. So you know what he said to that? What did he say? We're dying to know. Tell us. This one gets all boo-hoo and he says, I'll keep practicing till I get better. I can at least get better than you who skips practice. Sorry, but I have to laugh. Anyone who knows that you can't practice your way into being a genius. If he wants to practice something, he should practice not sounding like a tool. The guy's not a total maggot, but he's still trash that needs to find a garbage can. That moron. People aren't created equal. Even people who are born above average can never reach the same heights as the naturally gifted. You must be so talented if you don't need to practice, Mato. I feel bad for that kid. Trash can't help being trash. It should learn to stop dreaming and about being something better. The bell rings. In response to the gaggle of girls shuffle off into their own seats. Wait for the teacher to arrive. I get caught up on what Shinji said for some reason. Whether or not Shinji has innate talent, I think it's pretty clear that I'm a nobody. A nobody with no goals. I mean, when I try to think about the future, I get overwhelmed. As long as I keep plodding along, someday I'll reach my totally average future. Yay. That's what happens to everyone, right? There are actually people who break the pattern? How? I have no idea. For me, today is just another ordinary day. Good morning, everyone! Suddenly my heart accelerates, each beat painfully strong. It's as if my body is on high alert. I know it's not a reaction to Miss Fujimura, no. Well, kids, this is a little out of the blue today, but I want to introduce you to a new friend. It's him. That blonde boy is the one that's causing my body fight or flight instincts to prickle. Go on, Leo, introduce yourself. Well, Leo, You'll be attending school with these people, so I'm sure they'll like to know who you are.
ああ、なるほど。この方たちはまだ僕の名前を知らないんですね。
He steps forward and then in a louder voice says,
皆さん、僕の名はレオナルド・ビスタリオ・ハーメン。いずれ世界中の誰もが僕のことを知りますが、今はあなたたちの学友です。それでは皆さん、しばらくよろしくお願いします。
The classroom is silent. There aren't even any jabs at his eccentric manner of speaking, or any coos over how pretty he is. Instead, the entire classroom is enthralled by his regal bearing, entranced even. Shinji's words come to mind. This is what it means to be on a different level. None of us plebs could ever hope to reach the level that this new kid lives on. It's not overextending to call his very existence transfixing. Like a deer in the headlights, we're immobilized by the presence far brighter than our own. His natural place is above us, looking down as our king. How did someone like him end up here? Must be a mistake. Anyway, everyone, please make Leo feel welcome. Then, Leo, if you would please take a seat. Looks like the third seat in the second row from the right is open. Will that be okay? Leo, oh, you're addressing me. I see no reason not to allow you to call me Leo, as if it didn't feel awkward to hear from you. If you have the chance, I would very much like a delightful woman like you to visit my country. Well, geez, don't joke with your teacher. To your seat, Leo. I won't smack you since, well, it's kind of flattering of you to say that. Of course, I appreciate your diplomacy, Miss Fujimura. Then the boy gave the kind of easy smile that only kids can. That simple smile washes away the tension of the room, and people even begin to smile themselves. I think he's not so much a king as a prince. He may be above us, but he also has the natural charisma that draws us up to his level. However, it seems that there is at least one person in the class whose mileage varies. I don't like him. Flirting with the teacher already? That arrogant little twerp. Shinji's clearly not happy. If you have any questions, ask anyone to question myself. I mean, come to me first. There's no need to be shy. Yes, I understand. I'm pleased that I'll be attending such a good school. Oh, I see the two Hakunos right there. Am I imagining things? Just for a second, I thought he shifted his attention toward me. Not toward anyone else. Not even Shinji, who's still bad-mouthing Leo, but to me alone. Yeah, right. There's no way a practically otherworldly person like him would ever notice bland me. The school day ended with nothing else of interest occurring. But that Leo, I can't shake the uneasiness he woke in my heart. It feels like cogs somewhere became misaligned. No, I'm just excited for once. Something happened. Well, besides what happened yesterday. I should report yesterday's findings to the editor-in-chief. First things first. That should work. I noticed that the music is way louder than the characters talking. Seems like more and more people are staying home. Could that slasher rumor be true? Hey, the editor-in-chief is looking for you. Better go do that thing. Yeah. Did you hear? There was a murder here the day before yesterday. There's been a number of murders in the area recently. Scary. That's Leo. I kind of have a headache. It's like static in my head. Maybe there's a cold going around. I hear a familiar voice as I walk down the hallway. It's coming from around the corner. And there you have it. To summarize, about 30% of the participants have overcome the computer's brainwashing. These individuals now remember who they are. They're all Class A Magi. One girl in particular made quick work of the brainwashing. You might say she's a natural, and therefore more adept than Magi who have been more sheltered. Unlike those domesticated sheep, she's a wild Moflon. Stronger, rarer, wilder. She couldn't even bear to put on the school uniform the other sheep mindlessly wear. As novel as that girl's wildness is, wild things end up in cages. Still, keep your distance and your guard up. The voice coming from in front of the supply room is none other than that of a teacher, Kuzuki. He was speaking politely, almost reverently. However, this Rin Tosaka, the Haraways in Asia have voiced some concerns regarding her. She's the daughter of a noble family, which makes her unruly behavior become even more unbecoming. The voice that chimes in to join Kuzuki is none other than the transfer student Leo's. Unlike in class, his voice held a childlike temerity. It seemed like Kuzuki's words bothered him. She is a failure like the other dropouts, and so she's below your concern. There's nothing in the world that doesn't concern me, teacher. More importantly, I wonder what a domesticated being like me can learn from her wild bravery. There's nothing, because you are already perfect. Anything you lack is something the world itself lacks. It was a joke. It's been a while since I've been scolded. To think I enjoy it coming from you. In any case, I'll heed your warning about her. So, are there any other important happenings? First, noting the assassin sent by those alchemists. I have yet to confirm anything, but no doubt they're lurking about. I don't believe I've ever seen how an alchemist fights. Their charms, or their symbols rather, are quite unusual. We have the opportunity now. Aren't you curious, teacher? Wait until I've checked about this assassin first. Those are the only ones to watch out for. However, there are others with excellent abilities. A handful of others have passed the prelims besides Ring Tosaka. Huh? I don't see the rush. I think there's much to be learned from observing the school. I like to take my time and enjoy, for instance, the beauty of things like the garden. They seem to employ quite the skilled gardener. You should see the garden too, Mr. Kuzuki. No, brother. Oh. I respectfully decline. That ends my report. I see. Too bad. Then if you need anything else, it'll be best if we have as little contact with each other as we can. It is unusual for a teacher and student to meet like this. I understand. Be careful. Yes, you too, brother. Following those words, they both disappear, perfectly in sync with each other. I didn't understand what they were saying, but I get the feeling that I shouldn't have been listening. Let's see. Nice to see you again. So, what's the little red rooftop? The girl in red disappeared right before your eyes. Tell the editor-in-chief all the juicy deets. Good work on the investigation report to the editor-in-chief. Oh, our club's ace. Did you find anything yesterday? What, little red rooftop vanished before your eyes? If she disappeared, there isn't anything we can do about that. Nothing we can do? What's with the editor-in-chief's reaction? That's not right. I thought she said something like, hey, don't scare us like that. Actually, the problematic part is how nonchalant she is that a person disappeared. Your next story will be Mystery of Courtyard Chapel. The editor-in-chief keeps talking like nothing happened. She's already on the next thing. Should I say something? Hey, do you know that there's a chapel on campus, even though it isn't a mission school? It seems the chapel has been here longer than the school. This is just a rumor, but they say that it's haunted and magic rites are performed there. I'm sending you to investigate. The entrance to the courtyard is at the right side of the first floor hallway. Leonard Harway of the Western European plutocracy. Leonard Bistario Haraway would be the distinguished son of the Haraway plutocratic family. He's young, but soon he'll rule the world. So what's with that Western European plutocrat doing here? I was at the arcade the other day and I saw Miss Fujimura out there again. I think she lives there. Saw her too. She won so many stuffed animals, it seems like she was mustering an army. Oh, Shinji. That's strange, even for here. Oh, it's you again. I don't have time to play like you obviously do. Go play a reporter or whatever it is friendless little geeks like you have instead of having a life. Are you going to the garden? Keep your guard up, it's almost too quiet there. Lately I've been getting these crushing headaches at school. It's starting to freak me out. Oh. The man stands like a black stain, tainting the joyfully multicolored flower beds around him. It's the new teacher, Kuzuki. But the man standing in front of me isn't acting like the teacher by any stretch of the imagination. The sick malignity of overbearing aggression fills the air, malignancy, and then scattered around him are dead bodies of students. Why did you come in here? I'm certain I locked that door. I suppose I'll test you out. His thin lips hardly moved, but in the next instant, I'm bowled over as if struck by an invisible force. Chaotic thoughts bury in my brain like endless grains of sand. What happened? Can I move my limbs? Seriously, what was that? Kuzuki hasn't moved. No one else is nearby. Who? Why? How? My thoughts are a whirl. My heart races. I see what you are now. It isn't you, I suppose. His voice was a quiet hiss, but I could hear everything he said. This man with cold, inscrutable eyes raises his palm toward me. When I come to, I'm collapsed in the garden. The garden is silent, but not even a trace of Kuzuki or what the corpses that have been there. I'm uninjured, though my body aches from laying on the hard ground. The cold sweat that covered me is gone too. Only the piercing pain in my head remains. Maybe it was just a bad dream. I gulp air and attempt to stand. The ground seems to move under my feet. I'm delusional. Of course the ground isn't moving. I'll give my report to the editor-in-chief tomorrow and just go home for today. Okay. When I enter the classroom this time, things are a bit different. Wow! Okay, then how do you solve this problem, Leo? In this case, you substitute this for this and divide everything by x. It's the same simple equation that you used earlier. Whoa, you're right. Thank you, Leo. Unlike someone else, he helps out his classmates without displaying an ounce of condescension. And that someone is directing a nasty scowl towards the new kid. That bunch of brown-nosing idiots will suck up anyone who's got their bigger pea brains than theirs. Whatever. So skin off my back. People who are ugly inside are ugly outside, too. Seems Shinji's gaggle of female admirers have migrated to Leo's desk. For one, Shinji's irritation is kind of understandable. I'll give him this. The brat is a real charity worker, laying on the charm for those sows. He's desperate to appear smarter than me, and I'm the real smart one here. I see what he's doing. That dumb little kid doesn't know that I'm onto him. Reacting to Shinji's voice, Leo glances this way. Leo's expression is inscrutable, but not hostile. What do you want? You want to go? After a few false starts, Shinji finally manages to squeeze that out in a low voice. I don't know if Leo heard, but he gets out of his seat. The recoil turns into a noticeable flinch, which Leo smiles kindly at in response. Unlike Shinji's, Leo's gestures are filled with dignity. If I have unknowingly given you cause to be malicious, I would like to deeply apologize. Shinji Mato, was it? I'll be careful not to upset you in the future. His message firmly delivered, Leo returns to his seat. His soft voice bore no note of hostility or resentment. I know it's hard to believe, but maybe Leo wasn't upset. He knows when to bow down to true authority, it seems. I'm such a nice guy, I'll just accept his apology. Yeah, it's not like he ever pissed me off. After visually confirming that Leo's otherwise occupied, Shinji feigns calmness and leans back. Whew, made it. Good morning, There she goes. She didn't do that yesterday. And thud. The sound makes me cringe no matter how many times I hear it. Everyone is desensitized to it for the most part. Even knowing that she'll jump up to her feet in a few seconds, we should probably worry more. Shinji still seems to be in a bad mood. It's obvious that he doesn't like Leo at all that much. But with him, it's impossible to tell if he's really mad or just being cynical. Either way, it's just more of the same. Just like our homeroom teacher's daily dramatic entrance, and once again, the day begins. Alrighty then, let's pick up where we last left off. According to Dr. Peaceman's biography, during class I thought that I saw Leo smirk a little, but other than that, nothing exciting occurred. Today's just another boring day in a long string of boring days. Who here knows what amnesia is? It's a terrifying condition where an individual loses all their memories. It's caused by brain damage, severe trauma, or even infections in one's mucous membranes. The section of the doctor's biography we just covered touches on this condition. The cure for such a scary condition was discovered by Dr. Peaceman. With that said, using amnesia as an excuse for forgetting your homework isn't going to fly. When I was young, a fair number of my classmates were unscrupulous enough to try this. And before getting any ideas, I'm still young. In fact, I'm putting that fact on the test. As per the norm, Tiger's lecture starts to peter out. Just as a collective "this again" starts from the rise of the students. Miss Fujimura. Without being acknowledged by the teacher, Leo suddenly rises to his feet. The tension in the classroom rackets up immediately and all eyes focus on Leo. The young boy surveys the room with a mysterious smile, taking in everyone's startled glances. Oh, and of course my fellow classmates. It is time for me to leave. We'll probably never meet again, so I wish you all well. What the? My head. The pain. And before I forget, Miss Fujimura, I think you are still young, even now. Just your presence is enough to remind me of the beauty of youth. You are a remarkable person. After what seemed to be a very slight bow, he immediately seems to disappear from the room. Alright then, let's continue. Please turn to page 86. And accompanied by the sound of flipping pages, the lesson goes on as if nothing had happened. Showing off like that in the middle of class. What a jackass. If you have to use the John, be a little more discreet. And that I have to leave crap. Seriously, isn't he supposed to be some kind of aristocrat or princeling or something? Of course, what just happened is impossible. A highly suspicious disappearance in the middle of class and the teacher doesn't seem to care. No one in class says anything and the class continues as if nothing strange has happened. It was the same dull, dreary scene as yesterday and the day before. This can't be natural. After Leo's exit from the class, the lesson continues unabated as following a set script. Strange. This is definitely strange. It's as if the world tilted slightly and everything within it is losing its sense of presence. My head feels like it's going to explode. The pain is making it hard to remember who I am. Wait, come to think of it. I mean, really. Who am I? What is my name? How old am I? Where do I live? How many people are in my family? What was my life like before I started attending this school? I can't remember anything. My memory has been completely erased somehow. How and why did this happen? That's right, the editor-in-chief of the journalism club. As the president of the journalism club, she should at least know my name. I know I had to fill it out something when I first joined the club. I'll ask her. Hopefully she'll be in her normal spot. Man, where's everyone? It's like a ghost town around here. Things are getting weird. That Leo guy, where the heck did he go? I never thought that he was the type to ditch class. I saw an exam thing. Search. This is where Shinji sits. Shinji's desk is disturbingly organized, a reflection of his obsessive-compulsive personality. What's with Leo all of a sudden? But after seeing that, I had enough of this. My headache has gone from terrible to worse. I'm freaked out. My head, it hurts. What is this blurriness? Good work on investigation report. Yeah. Oh, our club's ace. Did you find anything out yesterday? The editor-in-chief is their usual cheery self. All I can think about is what of the pile of dead bodies I witnessed. No, I have to ask about myself. I'll ask her what my name is. Huh? Your name? Just look it up in the registry at the library. Yeah, school registry. It has everyone's names. If I look at the school registry, I might jog my memories. I'll go to the library. You want to see the registry of the names? It's on the bookshelf in the library, I think. Shelves are comprised of natural science collections. Opening when I see a picture of an old man reaching perpetual motion machines in Hawaii. Guess one can only do their best. Sports and recreation. Seems to be a number of regarding fairly obscure sports. Rules for international matches of kabaddi. Some interesting. Cultural anthropology section. Those books here are incomprehensible gibberish to the average person. Oh, the other side too. Judging by the bindings, there seems to be a number of different kinds of volumes available. Alright. Oh, same thing. Computer reference section. With the library getting a new computer, it seems to be the books were moved here for easy access. I found it. Sukumihara Academy Student Registry. Once I read through this, I should be able to remember everything about myself. I opened the book and began turning the pages. Immediately I noticed something's terribly wrong. The pages are blank. 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 Every single page was blank. I reached for the last year's school registry and I start flipping through the pages. Blank. What is happening here? Who am I? And just what is this place? Oh, everyone's gone. Oh, okay, maybe they're not. There's something wrong with this place, but more worrying is the fact I can't remember who I am. As I wander the campus, I see Leo walking down the hallway of the first floor. As a transfer student, I can't see why Leo would want to visit any of the freshmen. Also, there's nothing but a dead end up ahead. I wonder what Leo's really up to. I suddenly have this weird feeling that someone or something is up ahead in the hallway. Who, for some reason, is examining the wall at the end of the hallway with almost excessive interest. The attention to detail is quite impressive, even the surrounding air is surprisingly substantial. If that's the case, then this world is in some ways more real than the real world it represents. But that's just my opinion. How about you guys? What are your thoughts on this? In that moment, it feels like my heart skips a beat. Almost immediately, my blood pressure skyrockets along with my body temperature. My pulse is like an explosion in my ears and my blood races through my veins, and the reason is clear. Now Leo has turned to face me. I now know for sure he's talking to me and there's no one else present besides the two of us. Greetings. I believe this is the first time we've had an actual conversation. I don't feel any sense of hostility from Leo. In fact, his smile seems genuinely friendly. His smile has the same effect on me as the rising of the morning sun, warm and comforting. In addition to his smile, his presence is inviting and inclusive, and I find myself drawn to him. Oddly, my worries have vanished. All I can think of doing as he says, as that's the only way to. My mind feels like it's in a haze. It's like Leo is controlling my thoughts in some way. Attending school wasn't half bad. I never had the opportunity to go to one before now. In that respect, this has been quite an interesting experience. However, the time for fun has come to an end. I did not come here to play at being a student. No matter how enjoyable the detour, eventually one must return to their appointed path. And for me, the time to do so has arrived. With those final words, Leo turns his back on me. Farewell. No, that's not quite right. I don't think farewell would be accurate in this situation. For reasons I cannot explain, I have a distinct feeling we'll see each other again. So I guess I should use the more congenial see you later. Well, it's time for me to move on. I wish you the best of luck. With those final words, Leo disappears. It's like he ceases to exist. One moment his hand is on the wall, the next he's gone. The young man in front of me seems to disappear before my very eyes. I want to say reality rejected the existence in it, but it feels like it was the opposite, that he refused to be constrained by it. It wasn't any special ability that allowed him to do so, just his strength of will. With his departure, I feel as if a great weight is lifted from my very being. And rather than be a cause for concern, it brings a fundamental question to mind. Who am I? And the question that pops into my head as it begins to take on a life of its own, searing in my brain. I investigate the wall that Leo disappeared through. Just a concrete wall at the end of the hallway. About the only thing on the floor is dust. I'm positive there must be something here, because Leo walked through the wall. It would be so easy to turn around and go back down the hallway and pretend nothing happened. But there's still things I need to know. I have no memories. That means I've never had anywhere else to go but here. No place to return to. What was it that Leo said? No matter how enjoyable the detour, eventually one must return to their appointed path. That's what he said, didn't he? That beyond this wall lies the appointed path and the truth. If I follow him, I learn the answers to my questions, even if those answers are painful. But ignorance is bliss. Do I have the fortitude to face the truth and accept it? Something's different. Down to the floors and the walls, the school has changed the very substance of its being. For some reason, reality cracking in this way is intensely disturbing. This world around me is more real than a painting, but even as real as a sandcastle. I feel like it's so brittle I could tap it and the echo would shake this whole world. Where the boring concrete wall once stood, there's now a doorway that I can freely walk through. It's an entrance. No, an emergency exit like stairs to the outside. It's not something of this world. I have no doubt that the world the door leads to is utterly alien. Whatever awaits inside, whatever shape it takes, there's certain sort of finality to seeing it. Ultimately, I've already committed to this path. I bid farewell to the false world and take my first step along with the appointed path. Beyond the door seems to be a dismal-looking scrapyard. Out in front of me is a smooth-skinned effigy, while trying to figure out exactly what to do with it. Welcome, potential master. A voice comes out of nowhere. That effigy with you is your sword and shield for what lies ahead. It will move in response to your commands. Now then, please proceed. The truth that what you seek lies ahead. The motivations of the owner of that voice worries me, but it's obvious I won't learn anything by standing here. Also, there's no longer a path for which I can return. I have no choice but to head into the darkness if only the strange stall is protection. I made it. Within the deepest depths of the world beyond the door. This place must be the goal I'm supposed to reach. At least that's what I thought. It's stifling, the aura of purity that seems to act as a ward against corrupted souls who try to enter. The feeling is familiar. It has the feeling of a chapel where the spirits of the deceased still linger. At first I didn't notice, being overwhelmed by the grandeur of the room. But to one side is a young man in a familiar uniform, lying still on the ground. I call out to him, but there is no reply. I shake him in an attempt to wake him up, and I notice he is stone cold. I go as pale as the corpse before me, and I can no longer think coherently. All I can do is stare in bewilderment. It is at this moment the fallen effigy lying next to the male student comes to its feet with a clatter. Before I get a chance to make sense of what's going on, it suddenly twists around and comes right at me.
You seem to be lacking as well. I didn't stand a chance against that thing. It seems I wasn't qualified to be here. Me? Qualifications? That's right. I should know everything by now. The truth has to be here. But now... everything's going dark. I'm not even really scared. The only feeling that remains in me is regret. Even at the very end, I was unable to remember anything about myself. Someone, anyone, if you make it beyond here, please don't forget my name.